Hi, this is Mike of 71 Squared, and I've just got a very quick update video for you today, just to show you some of the things that I'm playing with in my sandbox, my project where I try things out before they go into tutorials. I wanted to give you a quick view of the particle emitter and also a quick view of the steering AI in action, which I've recently talked about. I'm actually going to be looking to make some updates to that so that we can have not only the steering AI but also maybe the ability to follow Bezier curves. I've had some great info from Daryl on the blog, which I'm looking at, and hopefully going to be implementing some of that. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly run this project so you'll see what's going on at the moment. And it's a simple project. This is me playing around with some game ideas, but I've got a scrolling tile map in the background, so just showing you the kind of thing you could do with the tile map class. And I've got these guys running around and they're following a path using the steering AI. So all I've done is define some points which they steer towards, and when they reach that point they then steer towards the next point. And as you can see, you can get some quite nice paths going. I mean, this is only a very simple path with maybe 5-6 points, I think, something like that. And it's very, very simple to be able to change that AI. So for example, if I was to stop this, have a look at my entity stuff, and I'm going to be covering a lot more in tutorials around entities and how I'm planning to control them and configure them, etc. But if I look inside my entity here, you can see this is where I'm defining the path. So I've actually got 7 points in this particular path at the moment, and the last point is in the middle of the screen. So if I wanted to add another couple of points here, I can very quickly just stick them in, and I can say from the middle of the screen I then want to move to the left of the screen, but I want to go towards the top, so I'll say 400, and from there I want to move all the way over to the right hand side of the screen with a depth of about 50, something like that. Okay, so we'll just change these in here as well to make it 8 and 9. So we've actually got 10 entities, and if I now run that again, the path that these guys are following will be different now, just by doing those. So when it gets to the end, instead of it sort of getting to the middle and looping back round down to this bottom left-hand corner, it will actually loop up to the top corner up here and then back down to the bottom. There we go, looping up to the top corner and then back down to this corner before going back to the beginning. So really simple, just using that steering AI stuff that I've posted to be able to do some nice path following. There may be reasons for wanting to actually have a very defined path you want to follow, because there is an element of randomness to this, although once you've configured your properties, this should pretty much give you the same results each time. So Daryl's posted some bits which I'm trying out, which could be interesting as well. Last thing to quickly show you on here is the particle emitter stuff, which is the tutorial I'm working on at the moment. So if I click here, you'll see that I've got what looks like a little explosion. So for my own needs, I'm thinking that I'm actually going to use a particle emitter for explosions rather than actually having sprite sheet type explosions. So you can see if I just keep clicking around in here, the performance is pretty good. I've had lots of sprites and a tile map and the particle emitter going, and it's all been working pretty well. So certainly something to go through and cover off in the tutorial that's following. That's about it really. Last thing I'll show you here is I'll just increase the number of little guys that are running around on the screen. I'm going to say put these up to 20, something like that. And again, you'll see that the path works quite well as I follow them. So really this is all because I'm playing with entities at the moment and seeing how I can define entities and how they can have their own artificial intelligence and their own movement code and collision detection, stuff like that. Hence, you know, sort of throwing a bunch of them on the screen that are all controlling themselves. But yeah, so there we go. It was just a very quick update to sort of show you some of the things that that I'm working on, that I'm going to be covering in some future tutorials. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy it.